Hello and welcome to another weekly video where you hear me talk about being a LitRPG author and publisher. Today was a great day, not because of something that happened today, but because of something that happened yesterday. At around 3 AM last night, I finally managed to finish the first round of edits for my latest book. This one was the third and last book in my most recent Physics of the Apocalypse series. As much as I love writing this story, I really hate editing, and so wrapping that up really made me happy. Having finished at 3 AM though, meant that I was up for a late start, so I woke up at around 11:30. I was thinking of taking the next 2 weeks off, but I will be traveling to Greece in 10 days, so I thought I'd take a break when I'm there instead. So after a quick breakfast, I took a scooter to a cafe and continued world building and brainstorming on my next series. So far, I've written 14 books, so I know what works for me and what doesn't, and this is probably my favorite part. After taking care of some emails, I dove into research, which was mostly reading the Strixhaven Dungeons & Dragons book to get some inspiration. I made a lot of notes, which were mostly divided into the following categories: ideas, which can contain things I want to include in the series or the world; tasks, meaning things that I need to take care of in order to have a skeleton of the world; and topics, which are specific to the book I want to write. This next series is going to be focusing on a group that manages to get into a magic university, and I want to put a lot of emphasis on the magic system and the curriculum. So the topics section in my notes are courses they might have or directions magic can get. In any case, I don't have a specific goal for each day while I'm world building, but tomorrow I'll try to tackle some of the tasks in my notes and maybe try to create the magic system of this world. It is day 2 of world building for my new series, or at least I hoped so. I did not sleep until 5:30 last night, so the day started late and with lots of things to do, starting with walking Poco. We have a new audiobook that was released and I had to make some promoting posts today. The audiobook is the third book in the Realm of Archon in German, and it is a very popular LitRPG series written by one of the fathers of LitRPG, Gia Kela. Apart from that, there were several other publishing related tasks that I needed to take care before I got to work on my stories. Since my favorite cafe is still closed, I decided to work from my balcony and take care of something that had been bugging me for a while, which is how the different schools of magic will work in this new world. I knew I wanted to have 5 schools whose magic can be combined and the whole system can be visualized on a pentagram. I like pentagrams, and magic is the first thing I think of when I see them, so I wanted to utilize them in this story. Anyway, the 5 schools of magic are the first tier of magical powers, and when 2 of them are combined, one can reach the next power level. Combinations are only happening at the points where these lines converge, so there are only 5 combinations available. Then, the next tier of magic is combining 3 schools of magic, which happens in the triangle areas of the pentagram, while the final one combines all 5 in the center. I have some ideas of what the basic magic schools might be, but I will continue ideating tomorrow. Tonight, I'm meeting with some friends on Berlin's Museum Island. It's really beautiful there in the summer because people meet to dance and have fun. It's Wednesday and I'm feeling better than yesterday, so I start around 10 AM taking Poco out for a walk. He's quite energetic for a 12-year-old, isn't he? Once we got back home, I carried out some publishing related tasks. I got a total of 8 covers back from our graphic designer, and I have to say I'm amazed by how great they look. This is a series that had its first 2 books translated and published in Germany, but was then abandoned. We recently managed to get the rights back from Penguin and will be re-releasing it in German, which is one of the things I'm genuinely super excited about. I won't bore you with more publishing tasks, as I'm sure I'll need to do a lot more over the next couple of days. So I went to a cafe behind Berlin's main train station and continued with my magic schools. I ultimately decided on the following 5: Elemental, Life and Death, Fabric Manipulation, Alchemy, and Ether. The elemental and life and death are pretty much self-explanatory, so let me explain the other three. Alchemy is also pretty much easy to understand, and I'm only mentioning it because I want to treat this similarly to how Full Metal Alchemist treated alchemy in the anime. There will be some changes to fit the system, of course, but I really love that show and wish they explored that path more. Fabric manipulation is essentially manipulating the fabric of existence, meaning the physical laws and reality itself, with its users called fabric weavers. Finally, ether is the medium that bridges the intangible and the ethereal. It is the raw magic that everything gets their substance from and everything eventually returns to. This school of magic is all about using magic in its purest form. I also thought of a few combinations of magic schools, but I think I will continue with them tomorrow because I spent almost 4 hours in the cafe and they'll soon close. Great work today though. It's always nice to wake up and feel energetic for work, even more so when your dog is feeling the same way. Whenever I'm in the ideation phase of starting a new series, and even more so when it's a new world, random ideas come to me during the day. This is something that I had noticed before, but it really clicked after reading the book Rest. I'm sure many of you have heard of this, but somewhere in the book it mentions how our brain subconsciously keeps working on problems even when we're not actively trying to solve them. I like to think of this as those moments when I'm trying to remember the name of a song, it's on the tip of my tongue but I can't remember it. Yet after a couple of hours, it just comes to me effortlessly. This is my subconscious mind having worked on the problem and solved it. Which is probably also why we tend to get great ideas in the bathroom. Anyway, I got a few ideas about how connecting basic schools of magic might look like. Combining the elemental and alchemy schools of magic makes elemental alchemy, which represents a harmonious fusion of raw elemental prowess with the deliberate and meticulous techniques of alchemical transformation. Mixing the elemental and the fabric manipulation schools of magic gives us elemental fabrication. Elemental fabricators can interlace elemental forces with spatial and temporal threads to craft wondrous phenomena. This can lead to mountains that hold memories, waters that weave through time, and winds that whisper of other dimensions. Combining fabric manipulation and ether magic results in etheric fabrication, where the ether weavers don't manipulate reality but instead use the ink of cosmic magic to rewrite it. Then we have the merge of life and death magic with ether magic, giving us soul etherics. This is magic that harmonizes the cycle of existence with raw magical essence, using magic to contact one's ancestors or allowing a magical artist to capture not just the likeness, but the subject's emotions and soul state at the moment, offering a deeper connection. And the last combination of two schools of magic is that of life and death with alchemy, which results in vital transmutation. At its core, vital transmutation is about understanding the continuum of existence, and while it respects the sacred boundaries of life and death, it also acknowledges their fluidity. Practitioners of this magic combination believe that just as metals can be transmuted, so can the essence of living things. The next step is moving into triple combinations, and while I made some notes today, I also had to format and upload 3 books, which will be coming next month. 2 of them are J. Arthur Klein's Extra Credit, which was split into 2 smaller volumes for the German market. The third one is a romance novel by Ellen Pierre, part of her Men of the North series, which is doing amazing in German lately. There were a few smaller tasks that I need to take care of, but with all of that done, I'll call it a day. It's the last day of the work week and I'm only a week away from going on holidays to Greece. I'm thinking of whether I should make a video or not since I won't be writing, but I'm sure I'll be able to take a few nice shots and maybe talk about things that are going through my mind. Many times I get really good ideas while on holidays and I never stop thinking of books in any case. Oh, and by the way, if you enjoy the content and you think that I've earned it, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed or followed this channel. So anyway, today I woke up a bit late, had breakfast, fixed a few things on a couple of my covers, replied to some emails and then headed to the cafe. I wanted to finish the magic combinations today, so I sat down and tackled triple school combinations. Even though Adapt will see much of this level of magic in the books, it is great to know the power levels that might come down the line, especially because I'll need to create professors, deans, and maybe war mage heroes at some point. The first one is Elemental with Alchemy, which is, you guessed it, the combination of the Elemental, the Fabric Manipulation, and the Alchemy schools of magic. A mage skilled in this art could potentially create artifacts that are not just magically imbued, but are fundamentally changed at a reality-based level, using alchemical processes, all while harnessing the raw power of the elements. Next up is Elemental Aetherloom, the mix of the Elemental, the Fabric Manipulation, and the Ether schools, where users can summon a tempest imbued with the essence of raw magic, create transient islands that exist out of time, or weave protective barriers made of elemental energy suspended in ether. The third combination is Aetherspan, utilizing life and death magic, fabric manipulation magic, and ether magic. Spinners see the world as a vast tapestry of interconnected threads of life, death, and magic, and even though their magic is very potent, it's also extremely volatile. Lastly, we have the Essence Forged darts, which is the combination of elemental, life and death, and alchemy schools of magic. In essence, the Essence Forged darts offer a symphony of creation, destruction, and transformation. The final step is combining all 5 schools of magic, and even though I named it Arcanum Omnia and even made some examples, there's not really much to say since this is godlike territory. Now that all magic schools are laid out, I think that I'll start looking at some of the world building tasks I have noted on Monday. There's still quite a bit of world building to be done before I move on to drafting the characters, and only after that will I start outlining the story. That is to say, there's a lot more fun to be had before I start writing. In any case, thank you for joining me on another week of authoring, publishing, and world building. Okay, bye!